You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. The Taylorville CUSD number 3 School Board of Education tackled 2 hearings before moving into the regular monthly meeting agenda. To start, the school board presented their amended budget, laying out their financial plan for the next year. Directly after, the board reviewed the potential $15 million general obligation alternate bonds intended to improve school facilities. This item was tabled during the May meeting, following concerns over the wording of how these bonds might be used by the district. Since that last meeting, no changes were made to the budget, and only the wording concerning future bond use was changed. The board approved of the newest budget with a 7-0 vote.
Next, I needed a motion for the approval of the FY25 amended budget.
So moved.
Dr. Meiser, may I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mrs. Mickey, may I have, is there any discussion?
If this does get approved, I need to pass this top page around and everyone would sign either on your yes section or your no section for your vote. This is what you need to do.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belcher?
Yes.
Mrs. Boucher?
Yes.
Mr. Pink?
Yes.
Mrs. Mickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Wimple?
Yes.
Dr. Meiser?
Yes.
Mrs. Chandler?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Next was a discussion concerning new alternate bonds. The board heard from Kendall King, a CPA with King's Financial in Monticello. King recommended that the board utilize their services to get the best possible interest rate on behalf of the district.
So I'm Kendall King with King's Financial. We are a municipal advising firm based out of Monticello, Illinois, so not too far away from home here. Appreciate being able to be close, a short drive here. But we are a company that helps out school districts with bond issues. You may be thinking right off the bat, don't we already have a bond company? So what's this guy doing here? This is true. What you have right now is called a bond underwriter. Within our industry, you can work directly with a bond underwriter, or you can engage an outside consultant, which would be an independent registered municipal advisor, which is what our firm does. The analogy that I gave to Brandy, and I've given it a few times now, is it's very similar to the real estate space. When you go to buy a home, you can have one realtor who does both the buy side and the sell side, or you can have a separate realtor representing your side of the transaction. So you can have a buyer's realtor and a seller's realtor. In our situation, in our example, we would be like the person sitting on your side of the table, negotiating on your behalf to try and get you the best interest rates that we can out of the bond issue, rather than going direct to a broker dealer who has a lot of incentives from the investor side, but not a lot of incentives from your side of the table.
Taylorville School Board will move forward with the $15 million general obligation alternate bonds and will consider the support of King's Financial. No vote on their involvement was made. These bonds will have no additional impact on taxpayers, as funds are already gathered from a citywide 1% sales tax. The board also voted to approve an insurance renewal with Diamond Brothers Insurance. Dan McNeely, Executive Vice President of Sales, informed board members that their coverage costs have remained nearly the same without raising deductible amounts.
And then back on the last page is that summary. So you can see the package went up, and most of that went up because we had to raise the high school because the builder's risk is ending. So we have to adopt that new building on here, but we don't have to pay the builder's risk anymore. So you can see that coverage went up, student accident went down, cat accident went down, treasurer's bond's going to go down once we get the updated premium. Working cash bond will go down because that's a lower number. Builder's risk, we don't need anymore because that's added to the package. So all in all, once we get those new bond amounts, we'll be closer to flat on this whole renewal that is on July 1st. It's pretty much flat in this market because I asked my sales guy, what's the average increase you're giving to schools? And he said 13%. And here we are with pretty much a flat renewal. This is probably the time not to do anything because you're kind of
Flat.
yeah. Save these tricks for when you need to. So that's kind of my feel.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it's not like before when we went from 5K deductible to 10 to 25. Now we're going from 25K to 50. That's different than what we've done before.
During public comment, Isabella Gideon, 2024 Miss Mount Auburn, pleaded her case for additional community involvement in towns that have been added to the Taylorville School District.
My name is Isabella Gideon, and I have the honor of standing before you today as Miss Mount Auburn. I'm here not only as a title holder, but as a former student, a neighbor, and a voice for our small village, which is a proud part of the Taylorville School District. Many years ago, our community was annexed into this district. Since then, the students of Mount Auburn have grown up cheering for the Tornadoes, wearing purple and gold, and joining the very same clubs, teams, and activities as the rest of the district. We are proud to represent Taylorville in everything that we do, but there is something that has been quietly missing. For several years now, groups from the district, like the band, cheerleaders, FFA, and other clubs have stopped participating in Mount Auburn's annual picnic parade. It may seem like a small thing, but to our town, it's not. The parade is one of the few traditions that still brings our entire village together. And when students from our own district don't show up, it can feel like we've been forgotten. We understand that schedules are full and resources are limited, but we also know that inclusion is powerful, especially for the younger kids in our town who dream of one day being in the band, wearing the cheer uniform, or walking alongside their high school role models in the parade. We're simply asking to be remembered.
The next Taylorville CUSD number 3 Board of Education meeting will be on July 8th of 2025. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club heard from the president and CEO of the Christian County Mental Health Association at their weekly meeting Tuesday at the Taylorville Moose Lodge. Brent DeMichael came to the position in 2010 and leads the local mental health association effort that began back in 1971. The agency has changed the types of services it provides a few years ago due to changing state regulations. Today, the association oversees 4 group homes as well as a plant that manufactures plywood reels. The plant provides employment for over 100 local residents that have developmental disabilities. DeMichael added that the unique thing about the plant is that while they have regular customers from the eastern half of the United States, they have no written contracts with their customers. He added that their reputation as a provider of quality products and the mission behind the plant is why many companies turn to them to buy. He also said the plant manufactures and sells over 1 million plywood reels every year.
Our plywood reel business is one of the best in the country, if not the world. Just here in little old Taylorville, we compete with all the for-profit plywood reel manufacturers. We have 0 contracts, which is one of the weirdest things when Ralph told me that. But we have no written contract with any of our customers. They could walk away tomorrow, but they know why we do what we do. We take really good care of them, and supporting our mission of employing people with developmental disabilities is very, very important to most of our customers. And we sell, for those that don't know, we sell plywood reels pretty much anything east of the Mississippi River, north and south in the country.
The Taylorville Kiwanis Club is part of a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. Weekly meetings are held Tuesdays at noon at the Taylorville Moose Lodge. For information on the club, go to taylorvillekiwanis.com. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. When you become a member of TCCU, you become an owner and have access to our great loan rates, earn great dividends on our deposit accounts, have access to our full range of financial products, and will receive personal attention from people you know. Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, and Shelby County. We are conveniently located in Taylorville, Hillsboro, Litchfield, and Pana. You can also visit us online at www.tccu.org. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
A bill aimed at helping small poultry farmers in Illinois is on its way to the governor's desk. This so-called chicken bill would raise the limit on how many birds farmers can process without state or federal inspections. This number goes from 5,000 to now 7,500 per year. It also lets them sell poultry off the farm, including at farmers markets, roadside stands, and by delivery. Supporters says that it cuts the red tape, boosts local agriculture, and helps meet demand for fresh, locally raised chicken. The bill includes safety rules like sealed packaging and required labeling to address earlier concerns from public health groups. If signed, lawmakers say the measure could help keep more small family farms running and give consumers better access to local meat. Next week is National Pollinator Week, and the Master Gardeners at the University of Illinois Extension are taking action during this awareness campaign. Their aim is to encourage gardeners to consider how to adjust their planting work to create a thriving ecosystem for pollinators. One important component is having native plants in your garden. Gwen Podesky and Kathy Knope from the Extension say that well-known plants such as coneflowers and black-eyed Susans are considered native to the area.
Well, it depends on
The coneflowers.
The coneflowers are
and
easy to
black-eyed
grow,
Susans.
very easy to
Yeah,
grow,
and
so
black-eyed
are
Susans.
black-eyed Susans, and in the late season, which is late fall, new England asters are sweet asters.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of a thug itself, Joe Pyeweed, but Joe Pyeweed will
Yeah,
draw
Joe
a
Pyeweed
lot
will
of
last a long time.
late butterflies, early butterflies, and bees especially, the Baptisias, and that is a native. There are hybrids of Baptisias, and I can't really see a reduction. Sometimes they say some of the hybrids don't draw the pollinators in as much, but I don't really see a reduction in how many bees visit my hybrids as opposed to the two natural ones I have.
And cardinal flowers, the hummingbirds
can be good, right?
like.
Right. Oh, and bee balm.
Oh,
Let's not
bee balm.
forget
Oh,
bee balm.
The Master Gardeners do their part to make getting these plants easier. Through the Illinois Native Plant Society, the Native Plant Society will hold an annual plant sale at the Illinois State Fairgrounds and will also host gatherings and other events at the
Right, and
State
just
Fairgrounds.
yes, and just keep it on your calendar because they will always do it. Join the Native Plant Society. Go online and get onto their website. Illinois Native Plant Society Central Chapter. Join the Native Plant Society.
Yeah, because you'll learn a lot. That's what I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, they
still.
did a great presentation at the Collinsville Gateway Green Conference. A group that have planted duck blinds along a pond out by First United Methodist Church, Springfield, to sort of keep the geese from coming up onto the sidewalk and
doing their
so
thing.
it was but I mean, like I said, they're a really great organization. Almost all the meetings have fantastic programs,
they have really good
very
programs
informative
all
programs.
around.
So join the Native Plant Society.
Information on the Illinois Native Plant Society is available at illinoisplants.org. The Master Gardeners also appear sometimes at the Taylorville Farmers Market. They are there to provide advice and even attract new members.
We're just the big orange tent. Be sure to look for, there is another orange tent out there. I forget who has it, but there is another orange tent. But this one will say University of Illinois Extension. And usually Mike Haiti is the captain of that team. And he gets it set up pretty religiously. I visited last week. The last time they were there, and there was a woman who stopped by asking about wanting to take some cuttings and how to do that for a rhododendron that had some special significance to her. So it's a great opportunity for people to ask their gardening questions or just kind of, and maybe think about pick up a flyer and join the Master Gardeners.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be great.
As always, you can reach the Master Gardeners for gardening help and questions through their help desk by calling 217-287-7246 or visiting their Taylorville office at 1120 North Webster Street on Thursday mornings. More information on the Master Gardeners at the University of Illinois Extension is available at extension.illinois.edu/MG. Gwen Podesky and Kathy Knope appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. Illinois FFA delegates approved adding a sixth state officer position during the first day of the state convention. Here's more from the Illinois FFA convention being held in Springfield. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news. It's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
In Taylorville, we know the value of getting more for your money, and at CNB Bank and Trust, our premium checking account delivers just that. Earn interest on your balance and unlock buzzing perks like local discounts, roadside assistance, and cell phone protection, just for banking where you live. Stop by our Taylorville branch today and experience banking with extra benefits. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
This is Chad Sparks. When you lose a loved one, your choice for making final arrangements should be with the compassionate family at Sutton Memorial Homes. They know the death of a loved one is difficult. Austin and Evan at Sutton's and the entire staff have devoted themselves to loving and caring for those in their community in their time of need. You can trust Sutton Memorial Homes to assist your family in making final arrangements that will be a tribute to your loved one. Sutton Memorial Homes, caring is what they do best.
88-year-old Patrick or Pat Kane of Rochester died on June 7th. A celebration of life will be on June 13th at 10 a.m. at Wilson Park Funeral Home in Rochester. A private interment will be at Oak Hill Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Wilson Park Funeral Home in Rochester. "72-year-old Larry Rock Upton of Edinburgh died on June 7th. Memorial visitation is June 18th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Cremation rights have been accorded, and funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. And 68-year-old Robert Gerald Schultz of Awanaco died on June 8th. Visitation is June 12th from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Graveside service will be on June 13th at 9 a.m. at Awanaco Cemetery in Awanaco. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. That will conclude obituaries here on the expanded local newscast. We'll move to weather. Currently, it is 62 degrees, that is, in the central Illinois area, expecting a high of 85 with some increasing cloud coverage over the course of the day. As for tonight, a low of 64 and mostly cloudy. And then we get into Thursday. It'll be partly sunny and a high of 86. For Thursday night, it again will be mostly cloudy, dropping to about 68 degrees in that early morning window. And then on Friday, as we make our way into the weekend, a chance of showers before 10 a.m. and then thunderstorms likely after 1 p.m. It'll be mostly cloudy with a high near 81. The chance of rain is set at 70%, and you can expect up to a half-inch possible just on Friday. That's a look at your expanded local news and its coverage here on WTIM, your information station.
If your heart beats for the heartland, for the pace and rhythm of the life we enjoy here, you'll be relieved to know you're close to experts who can care for your heart if it falls out of rhythm or the pace is not what it should be. At Prairie Cardiovascular, our doctors have a passion for pursuing advances in care, for providing the right treatment at the right time, whatever your needs. When you choose Prairie Cardiovascular, you'll know your heart is in the right place.
I'm Miley Sims, the sports sales intern with the Miller Media Group. We're getting ready to broadcast another season of Taylorville High School sports on WTIM, AM, FM, and online. I'd love to show you opportunities to reach our large and loyal WTIM Tornadoes audience to promote your business. Call our company president, Randall J. Miller, at 824-3395, extension 8, and he'll have me reach out to you.